I just don't think your kids are important enough to be there. The words hung in the air of Amanda's kitchen like smoke. I sat frozen across from my sister, my coffee cup halfway to my lips. Behind me, her marble countertops gleamed under expensive pendant lights. Everything in her house looked perfect, carefully arranged. "What?" I managed to say. Amanda shrugged, stirring her tea with a silver spoon. "Bailey's party has limited space. We're keeping it small this year. You understand." My mind flashed to my refrigerator at home, covered in drawings my kids had made for Bailey. Hearts and rainbows and "Happy Birthday, Cousin Bailey" in crayon. "Limited space," I repeated slowly. "Exactly." She smiled like I should thank her for explaining. "We can only invite the most important people. It's nothing personal, Claire." My hand started shaking. I set down my cup carefully, afraid I might drop it. "My children aren't important enough. Don't be dramatic." Amanda waved her hand dismissively. "It's just a birthday party. They won't even remember." She smiled again, waiting for me to agree. I couldn't speak. 3 days later, I saw the invitation. Not in my mailbox. Not sent privately. Posted publicly on Amanda's social media page, tagged with every family member except me. Bright pink letters announced, "Bailey's 7th birthday bash. Join us for an unforgettable celebration." I scrolled through the comments, cousin after cousin responding with heart emojis, and "we'll be there." Our Aunt Patty asked what to bring. Uncle George posted a funny gif about party hats. My phone buzzed. A message from our cousin Natalie. "Hey, are you bringing the kids Saturday? Want to carpool?" My stomach dropped. She didn't know. I typed back, "We weren't invited." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. What? That can't be right. But it was right. Every cousin's children were invited. Every niece and nephew. The neighbor's kids. Bailey's entire class from school. Just not mine. My phone kept buzzing. More relatives asking the same question. Amanda stayed silent, watching the messages pile up. Then I scrolled further down the guest list. I recognized the pattern immediately once I started looking. Last Christmas, Amanda had hosted adults-only drinks at her house. Except Bailey was there. And our cousin's baby. Just not my 7-year-old twins, Oliver and Sophie. "Too chaotic," Amanda had said. 2 Thanksgivings ago, she'd organized a family photo session. Professional photographer, matching outfits, the works. We were told to come after the shoot was finished. "Scheduling conflict," she'd explained. Bailey's last birthday. We were invited to stop by after cake, when the real party was already ending. Summer barbecues where my kids played alone in the corner while Amanda gushed over everyone else's children. Holiday cards featuring every grandchild except mine. Small comments I'd brushed off. "They're so energetic." Must be exhausting. Different personalities. I'd always made excuses. Amanda was busy. Amanda was stressed. Amanda didn't mean it that way. But now I saw the truth. One memory surfaced clearly, my daughter's kindergarten graduation. Amanda had promised to come. I'd saved her a seat. Sophie kept looking for her aunt in the audience. Amanda never showed. Later, I found photos on her page from Bailey's soccer practice that same afternoon. Everything suddenly made sense. "Mommy, why doesn't Aunt Amanda like us?" Sophie's question came out of nowhere during breakfast. She pushed her cereal around her bowl, not eating. Oliver sat beside her, unusually quiet. My chest tightened. "What makes you think that, sweetheart? Bailey's birthday is Saturday. Everyone's going except us." She'd seen the posts. Of course she had. Kids noticed everything. "Well," I scrambled for an explanation. "It's a small party. Sometimes there isn't room for everyone. But there's room for everybody else." Oliver's voice was flat. "We saw the list." I had no answer for that. No lie that would make this okay. Did we do something wrong? Sophie's eyes filled with tears. "We could say sorry." That broke me. My kids thought they'd done something to deserve this. They were willing to apologize for existing. "You did nothing wrong," I said firmly. "Nothing at all." But the damage was done. I saw it in their faces, that small, crushing acceptance that sometimes you just aren't wanted. They'd learned this lesson before they turned 8. I made a decision right there at the breakfast table. This would never happen again. I called Amanda that afternoon, determined to stay calm. Professional. Mature. We need to talk about Bailey's party. Claire, I already explained. My kids are asking why they weren't invited. They think they did something wrong. Amanda sighed heavily. This is exactly why I didn't want drama. They're fine. Kids forget these things. They don't forget. They notice. Well, maybe if they were better behaved at family events. I stopped breathing. Better behaved? Bailey deserves to have guests who won't cause problems. Your kids are just a lot. They're loud and they demand attention, and honestly, Claire, this day isn't about them. In the background, I heard her husband, Troy, laugh. Actually laugh. My hands clenched around the phone. They're 7 years old, Amanda. And Bailey is 7 too. This is her special day. She gets to decide who she wants there. Bailey is 7. She didn't make this decision. You did. Silence. Then her voice turned cold. You're being emotional. This isn't about you. That sentence hit differently than anything else. Not an apology. Not empathy. Just dismissal. You're being emotional. This isn't about you. I repeated those words in my head long after hanging up. She was right about one thing. It wasn't about me. It was about my children learning that family meant conditional love. That they had to earn their place at the table. That being themselves was somehow too much. Something shifted inside me in that moment. I stopped trying to make Amanda understand. Stopped hoping she'd suddenly realize what she was doing. Stopped explaining how her words hurt. Instead, I started paying attention. Really paying attention. To the family group chat where Amanda's messages always got responded to first. To how relatives asked her opinion before making plans. To the way conversations shifted when she entered a room. She controlled everything, I realized. The narrative, the schedule, the dynamics. And everyone just went along with it. But I noticed something else too. Something she probably didn't realize. People were careful around her. They watched what they said. They asked permission for things that shouldn't need permission. That wasn't respect. That was fear. I spent the next week observing quietly. In the family group chat, I watched Amanda organize everything. She decided which restaurant for Mom's birthday. She picked the date for the annual family photo. She even suggested which gifts people should bring to events. Nobody questioned her. I scrolled back through months of messages. Every time someone proposed an alternative plan, Amanda would say it didn't work for her schedule. Every time. And everyone adjusted. On social media, I studied her posts carefully. Every family gathering was documented with captions about blessed and grateful and family first. But look closer at the photos. My kids were never centered. Often cut off at the edge. Sometimes not included at all. The comments were always supportive. Beautiful family. So lucky. Goals. Nobody mentioned the missing children. I checked the calendar. Bailey's party was in 10 days. Then I found something interesting. A comment thread on Mom's page from 2 months ago. Can't wait to help with Bailey's party. So generous of you and Dad to sponsor it. My parents were paying for the party. Amanda had told them it needed to be small because of budget, but it wasn't small at all. I called my mother, keeping my voice casual. Hey Mom, quick question about Bailey's party. What's the budget? Oh, it's quite generous. Your father and I wanted Bailey to have something special. Amanda said she wanted it small and intimate, so we agreed to cover the venue. The venue? I kept my tone light and curious. Yes, that event space downtown. It holds about 40 people. Why do you ask? 40 people. Not a small party. Not even close. Just wondering. Thanks, Mom. After hanging up, I sat with this information. Amanda had told our parents the party needed to be exclusive because of space limitations. She positioned it as intimate and special. They'd agreed to fund it based on that premise. But the real reason for excluding my kids had nothing to do with space. It was choice. Pure and simple. She'd looked at the list of family children and decided mine didn't make the cut. And she'd used my parents' money to do it. I pulled up the guest list again. 40 people. Including Bailey's entire school class. Kids she barely knew. But not Oliver and Sophie, who'd made her birthday cards every year since they could hold crayons. I finally understood something important. This wasn't about Bailey's party. This was about power. And I was done playing along. The next time Amanda texted me, I responded differently. Just confirming you got my explanation about the party? Yes. Thank you for clarifying your priorities. I understand completely now. 3 dots appeared and disappeared multiple times. Good. I'm glad you're being reasonable about this. Absolutely. Family dynamics are so important to understand. Exactly. I could feel her relief through the screen. She thought I'd accepted defeat, that everything would go back to normal. Well, I should go. Lots to plan for Saturday. Me too, actually. Enjoy your party. Wait, what are you planning? Oh, just a small family thing. Nothing major. I left it at that. Her response came 30 seconds later. What family thing? Just getting some cousins together with the kids. Low-key weekend fun. This Saturday? Yes, this Saturday. Perfect timing, actually. The dots appeared and disappeared for a full minute. We should coordinate, so we don't overlap. Oh, I think people can manage their own schedules. Talk soon. I put my phone on silent and smiled. She had no idea what was coming. I spent the next day making calls. Hey Natalie, I'm organizing a kids' weekend at the park this Saturday. Just fun and games, maybe a potluck. Want to bring the kids? That sounds perfect. We'd love to come. Great. Feel free to invite whoever. The more the merrier. I called 4 more cousins. Then Uncle George. Then Aunt Patty. By evening, I had 15 confirmed families. All with children. I posted in the family group chat. Hosting a fun kids' day this Saturday at Riverside Park. Games, food, and family time. Everyone welcome. Bring your kids, and let them just be kids. The responses came quickly. Love this idea. We're in. Can we bring our dog? What time? I answered each message cheerfully, making it clear this was casual, easy, and most importantly, inclusive. Then Amanda's message appeared. Claire, can we talk privately? I waited 10 minutes before responding. Sure, what's up? My phone rang immediately. What are you doing? Organizing a kids' day. Like I said, on Bailey's birthday. Is it? Oh, I forgot that was this weekend. Silence. You forgot. Well, we weren't invited, so it slipped my mind. Anyway, this is separate. Just cousins getting together. People are choosing your thing over Bailey's party. I paused, letting that sink in. Are they? Amanda's voice rose an octave. Yes. 3 families just told me they're suddenly busy on Saturday. This is sabotage, Claire. That's an interesting perspective, I replied calmly. I simply invited people to spend time together. I didn't realize Bailey's party had exclusive rights to the weekend. You know exactly what you're doing. What I'm doing is making sure my kids have a nice day with family. Isn't that what you wanted for Bailey? A nice day with the people who matter. This is different. How? She struggled to answer. It just is. You're being vindictive. I'm being inclusive, I corrected. Everyone is invited to my gathering. Everyone. Including Bailey, if you'd like to bring her. You, she sputtered. You can't just steal my party. I'm not stealing anything. I'm creating something separate, for the kids who apparently weren't important enough for other plans. I never said. You did, actually. You said my kids weren't important enough. Remember? Dead silence. I thought kids were important this weekend, I continued gently. I guess I misunderstood. Anyway, I need to go. Lots to prepare. Claire, wait. I hung up. 10 minutes later, Amanda called back. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. And again. On the 4th call, I answered. Yes. We need to talk about this reasonably. I am being reasonable. I'm giving my children a positive family experience. By competing with Bailey's party. Amanda, if your party is so special, why are you worried about a casual park gathering? She didn't have an answer for that. Fine, she snapped. You want the truth? I didn't want her kids there because they always steal attention. Everything becomes about Oliver and Sophie. Bailey deserves one day where she's the center of attention. I heard movement in the background. A door closing. Then our cousin Natalie's voice. Amanda, did you just say? The phone went silent, then the call dropped. 30 seconds later, Natalie texted me. I was picking up decorations for Bailey's party. I heard everything. Call me. I called. She really said your kids steal attention? Natalie sounded shocked. Apparently. Claire, they're 7. They're sweet kids. They don't steal anything. I know. I'm so sorry. I had no idea she felt that way. Neither did I. Well, I suspected, but hearing it confirmed. I'm bringing my kids to your park day. This is ridiculous. We talked for 20 more minutes. She told me about other things she'd noticed over the years. Small comments Amanda made. Ways she controlled situations. I think I've been making excuses for her, Natalie admitted. We all have. After hanging up, I realized something important. The truth was spreading now. And I hadn't said a word. By Thursday, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Different relatives reaching out privately, asking questions, sharing their own stories. Uncle George. Now that you mention it, Amanda does seem to orchestrate everything. I thought that was just her being organized. Aunt Patty, remember when she uninvited your kids from that Christmas thing? I thought it was strange then. Another cousin, she told me your kids were difficult. I didn't believe it, but I didn't question her either. People were connecting dots they'd ignored before. The pattern became obvious once someone pointed it out. Friday morning, my mother called. Claire, what's this I'm hearing about Amanda excluding your children? Who told you? Natalie. And Patty. And George. She paused. Is it true? I took a breath. Yes. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me? Long silence. Oh, honey. Mom had always defended Amanda. Always explained away inconsistencies. Always encouraged me to be understanding. But now, hearing it from multiple sources, she couldn't deny it anymore. I'm coming to your park gathering tomorrow, she said firmly. With your father. And we're bringing the good cookies. You don't have to. Yes, I do. I should have paid attention sooner. After we hung up, I felt something unexpected. Relief. Not because people were taking sides, but because I wasn't crazy. Someone else confronted Amanda before I could. Saturday arrived bright and sunny. I set up at Riverside Park early. Blankets, coolers, games. The twins helped me arrange everything, excited and nervous. Will people actually come? Oliver asked. Yes, baby. They'll come. And they did. By noon, the park was full. Cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Kids running everywhere, laughing, playing. Someone brought a soccer ball. Someone else brought bubbles. My phone buzzed constantly with photos being posted. Happy kids. Smiling faces. Real, unfiltered joy. Across town, Bailey's party was happening at the expensive venue. According to messages I received later, it was awkward. Half the expected guests didn't show. The ones who came kept checking their phones, seeing photos from the park gathering. The energy was off. Bailey cried twice. Amanda spent most of the party on her phone, texting angrily. Troy tried to salvage it with forced enthusiasm, but kids notice when adults are stressed. By 3 o'clock, the party was over. At the park, we were still going strong. Sophie and Oliver were surrounded by cousins, all playing together. Nobody was excluded. Nobody was told they weren't important enough. I watched my daughter laugh, truly laugh, in a way I hadn't seen in months. This was what family should feel like. My phone rang. Amanda. I let it ring. She left a voicemail. Then another. Then a text. You turned everyone against me. I waited until evening to respond, after my kids were in bed, exhausted and happy. I didn't turn anyone against you, Amanda. I never told anyone what you said. Then why did half my guests skip Bailey's party? Maybe you should ask them. They chose your thing because you manipulated them. I invited people to spend time together. That's all. If they chose to come, that was their decision. You ruined Bailey's birthday. I paused before responding, choosing my words carefully. Amanda, I didn't ruin anything. But I did stop accepting that my kids don't matter. People made their own choices based on their own values. This is unbelievable. What's unbelievable is that you're more upset about attendance than about how you treated my children. No response for several minutes. I want you to take down all those photos from today. No. Excuse me. Those are photos of my children being loved by their family. There's nothing wrong with that. They make me look bad. Then maybe you should think about why that is. If you don't delete them, I'm done with you. My hand didn't shake this time. If that's your choice, Amanda, I understand. She hung up. I realized something then. I wasn't afraid of losing her anymore. Sunday morning, I woke to dozens of messages. Photos from yesterday that other people had posted. Videos of the kids playing. Comments about what a wonderful day it had been. My mother had posted a picture of Sophie and Oliver surrounded by cousins, captioned, "Sometimes the best parties are the ones where everyone is welcome." Subtle but clear. I scrolled through the images. My kids' faces in every single one, bright, happy included. This was what I'd been fighting for. Not revenge. Not to hurt Amanda. Just this, my children knowing they belonged. Oliver wandered into my room, still in pajamas. "Mom, can we do that again next month?" "Do what, honey?" "The park day. With everyone. It was the best day ever." My eyes stung. "Yeah, baby. We can do that again." He climbed into bed next to me, looking at the photos on my phone. "And Amanda didn't come," he observed. "No, she didn't. Is she mad at us?" I chose my words carefully. "And Amanda is dealing with her own feelings right now. But that's not about you. You didn't do anything wrong." He nodded, processing this. "I don't need her to like me," he said quietly. "I just needed everyone else to stop pretending we didn't exist." 7 years old, and he understood it perfectly. That afternoon, Amanda posted photos from Bailey's party. The comments were supportive, but notably fewer than usual. And someone had asked, "Where's the rest of the family?" Monday evening, Amanda sent a message to the family group chat. "I would appreciate it if certain people stopped making me look bad on social media." Nobody responded. She tried again. Families should support each other, not tear each other down. Aunt Patty finally replied, "Amanda, maybe we should talk privately." "No. This needs to be said publicly, since that's where I'm being attacked." "Uncle George, nobody is attacking you." "Really?" Because Claire's park thing was clearly designed to compete with Bailey's party. Natalie jumped in. Or maybe people wanted to go to something where all the kids were welcome. I hadn't said anything yet. I didn't need to. Amanda's next message was directed at me. "Claire, this is your doing. Are you happy now?" I typed carefully, aware everyone was watching. "Amanda, I'm happy that my children had a wonderful day with family. I'm happy they felt included and loved. That's all I ever wanted. By excluding Bailey, Bailey was invited. Everyone was invited. You chose not to bring her." Mom entered the chat. "Girls, this isn't the place for this discussion." But Amanda wouldn't stop. "I'm done being the villain in Claire's story. Everyone acts like I'm the bad person when all I did was plan a party." Uncle George again. "Amanda, you told Claire her kids weren't important enough to attend. That's not just planning a party." Silence in the chat. "You told Natalie in confidence." "She told me," he added. Amanda left the group chat. 3 days later, Amanda called me directly. I almost didn't answer. "What, Amanda? We can't keep doing this." "I agree. So you'll apologize and we can move forward?" I actually laughed. "Apologize for what?" "For turning everyone against me. For ruining Bailey's party. For making me look like a terrible person. I didn't do any of those things. You did them yourself. I made one comment in private. You made dozens of comments over years," I interrupted. "You excluded my kids repeatedly. You made them feel unwanted. You told me to my face they weren't important enough. That came out wrong." "Did it?" "Because you've shown me through your actions that you meant exactly what you said." "So what? We just never speak again." I took a deep breath. "Amanda, if my children aren't important to you, then distance is probably healthier for everyone. You're choosing them over me?" The question genuinely shocked me. "They're my children. Of course I choose them. But I'm your sister." "Then act like an aunt who loves her niece and nephew." She sputtered. "I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe it took me this long." I hung up before she could respond. My hands were shaking, but not with fear. With relief. A week later, Amanda sent a text. "I'm sorry you felt hurt by my words." I stared at it for a long time. "You felt hurt?" Not, "I'm sorry I hurt you." Not, "I was wrong." Just another way of making it my problem. I responded carefully. "Amanda, I need you to understand something. This isn't about hurt feelings. This is about my children learning their worth. Going forward, we need clear boundaries." "What kind of boundaries?" "My kids will not be excluded from family events. If they're not welcome, I won't be there either." That's not fair. It's completely fair. You can invite whoever you want to your personal events. But family events include all family, or we don't participate. You can't dictate. I'm not dictating. I'm making a choice about what environment I allow my children to be in. 3 dots appeared and disappeared several times. Finally, fine. Just that. Fine. No real apology. No acknowledgement of what she'd done. But also no fight. I realized I didn't need her to understand. I just needed her to know I wouldn't tolerate this anymore. The conversation ended there. Silence followed for weeks. Something unexpected happened over the next month. Relatives started inviting my kids directly to things. Not through Amanda. Not through family-wide announcements. Direct invitations. Hey Claire, bringing the kids to the beach this weekend. Want Oliver and Sophie to come. Planning a cousin's sleepover. Is Sophie available? Taking the kids to the zoo. Should we pick up the twins? They were routing around Amanda entirely. She noticed. Of course she noticed. In the group chat, she tried to organize a family dinner. We should all get together. I'll coordinate. Uncle George. Actually, I've got plans with Claire and the kids that day. Natalie. Sorry, we're busy too. One by one, people declined. Not because I'd asked them to. I hadn't said anything. They just stopped letting Amanda control everything. The power dynamic had shifted, and she couldn't shift it back. At Mom's birthday dinner, everyone was there, including Amanda and Bailey. It was the first time I'd seen her in weeks. She was cordial, careful, watching what she said. The twins played happily with their cousins, including Bailey. Nobody mentioned the party. Nobody mentioned the conflict. But everyone was aware of what had changed. Amanda no longer decided who mattered. 2 months after Bailey's party, we attended a family barbecue at Uncle George's house. Amanda arrived late with Bailey and Troy. She set her things down, then saw me across the yard. Our eyes met. She walked over. Can we talk? I glanced at my kids, playing happily with Natalie's children. Sure. We stepped away from the main group. You've changed, Amanda said. Yes. Everyone treats me differently now. Do they? You know they do. They question me. They don't just go along with plans. She stopped. They choose you. They choose to include everyone, I corrected. That's not about me versus you. It feels like it is. I studied my sister's face. For the first time, I saw something other than confidence there. Uncertainty. Amanda, I didn't want this to be a competition. I just wanted my kids to feel like they belonged. They do belong. Do they? Because you spent years showing them they didn't. She looked away. I didn't realize that actions have consequences, that it mattered this much. It always mattered. You just didn't think I'd do anything about it. She didn't deny it. Behind us, laughter erupted from the kids' play area. Oliver had just scored a goal in their impromptu soccer game. Sophie was cheering. They're happy, Amanda observed. Yes. I never meant to make them unhappy. But you did. She nodded slowly, and for a moment, I thought she might truly apologize. Instead, she said, I hope one day you'll understand my perspective. Then she walked away. I watched Amanda rejoin Troy, who was standing alone near the drinks table. She said something to him, gesturing toward me. He shrugged, looking uncomfortable. Natalie appeared at my elbow. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. She apologized. Not really. Didn't think so. Natalie squeezed my arm. But hey, you did something important. You showed your kids they matter. I just wish it hadn't required all this. Sometimes people need to lose something to realize its value. We watched Amanda navigate the party, trying to engage people in conversation. They were polite but distant. The easy camaraderie she once commanded was gone. She built her position on control, not connection. And control only lasts until someone stops playing along. Mom joined us, carrying a plate of food. You girls talking? Sort of, I said. Good. Family is important. It is, I agreed. That's why I'm protecting mine. Mom nodded, understanding my meaning. You're a good mother, Claire. Those words meant more than she knew. Later, as we were packing up to leave, Bailey ran over to Sophie. Can you come to my house sometime? Sophie looked at me uncertainly. We'll see, honey, I told her gently. Amanda overheard. Our eyes met across the yard one more time. Something passed between us. Not forgiveness, not friendship, but acknowledgement. She left without saying goodbye. Life settled into a new normal over the following months. Family gatherings continued, with better balance. My kids were included naturally, without me having to fight for it. Amanda attended some events, skipped others. When she came, she was cordial but distant. Bailey and my kids played together at family functions, but the cousins weren't as close as they might have been. That made me sad sometimes, but I couldn't regret protecting my children. Sophie asked about it once. Why doesn't Aunt Amanda talk to us much? Sometimes adults have complicated feelings, I said. But that's not about you. I know, Sophie said. You told us that before. We're important. You're so important. The twins were thriving. More confident, more secure. They stopped asking why they weren't invited places because now they were. I hosted another park day in the fall. Even more people came. Amanda didn't. I posted photos anyway, my kids laughing, surrounded by cousins and family. This time, nobody asked me to take them down. One evening, Oliver showed me a drawing he'd made at school. It was our family, him, Sophie, and me, standing together. We're strong, he explained, pointing at how he'd drawn us holding hands. Yes, we are. Because you chose us. My throat tightened. Always, baby. Always. He hugged me and ran off to play. I looked at that drawing for a long time, thinking about what strength actually looked like. It wasn't about winning. It wasn't about making someone else lose. It was about refusing to accept less than my children deserved. A year after Bailey's party, I found myself reflecting on everything that had changed. The revenge everyone expected never really happened. I didn't exclude Amanda, didn't turn people against her, didn't sabotage anything. I simply stopped accepting disrespect. And that, somehow, was more powerful than any revenge could have been. My kids learned something valuable that year. They learned that their mother would protect them, that they didn't have to earn love through perfect behavior or being less than to make others comfortable. They learned their worth. Amanda learned something too, though I'm not sure she'd admit it. She learned that relationships built on control eventually crumble. That family isn't about hierarchies and importance rankings. That excluding people has consequences. Whether she changed internally, I don't know. Maybe she tells herself a different story, where I'm still the villain. That's okay. I don't need her validation anymore. The family changed most of all. They stopped defaulting to one person's preferences, started making inclusive choices, questioned dynamics they previously accepted without thought. Not because I convinced them, but because they saw what happened when someone finally pushed back. I thought about revenge a lot during those months. What it meant, what it accomplished. But I realized I didn't want revenge. I wanted recognition, respect, protection for my children. And I got all three, not by hurting Amanda, but by refusing to stay small. One evening, my phone buzzed with a message. Amanda's name appeared on my screen. I almost didn't open it. I hope one day you understand. I stared at those words for a long time. Understand what? That she meant well. That it wasn't personal. That I overreacted. I looked up from my phone. Sophie and Oliver were sprawled on the living room floor, doing homework together. Oliver helped Sophie with a math problem. She showed him her spelling words. They were kind to each other. Patient. Secure. Because they grew up knowing they mattered. I thought about Amanda's message and what she wanted me to understand. But I already understood perfectly. I understood that some people never see the impact of their actions. I understood that you can't make someone value what they've decided isn't important. I understood that protecting my children meant sometimes disappointing my sister. Most importantly, I understood that I'd made the right choice. Every single time. I didn't respond to Amanda's text. There was nothing left to say. Instead, I set down my phone and joined my kids on the floor. Mom, can we do another park day soon? Sophie asked. Absolutely. Let's plan it. Oliver grinned. Can we invite everyone? Everyone, I confirmed. Because that's what family means. Not hierarchy. Not importance rankings. Not exclusion disguised as preference. Just everyone together. My phone buzzed again. Another message from Amanda. I didn't look at it. I was exactly where I needed to be, sitting on my living room floor with my children, planning a party where every single person would be welcome. That was my revenge, if you could call it that. Not exclusion. Not hurt. Not punishment. Just choosing my kids. Every time. Without apology. And that made all the difference.